Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking weed.
Me. I'm married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back. Episode 211. Never forget.
Episode 211. The Secret of Curly's Gold.
Well, yeah, this is an interesting episode. Because I don't know where to go after that joke.
That's a deep cut.
Deep.
That is a deep cut.
So
from a movie
we
nobody
are,
saw.
you and I specifically, we didn't want to pay the extra money to do this Amazon screenings, the Prime screenings. Mm-hmm. So we're going to go see this still on opening day, but we're going to go see it Friday. We're going to go see Superman.
So excited.
We're going to do 2 episodes. So we're going to do this one now, and then Friday
so this will be a little bit
it.
of a kind of a snacky episode because we're going to do like the
little
2 episodes together this week will make a full meaty episode.
Yeah.
Juicy. Full of life.
And that other episode is just going to be a review of that movie. Like,
and
we're
if you
just going
want,
to be talking about Superman.
And, yeah,
maybe
and if you
something
want,
else, but mostly just Superman.
And if you want, we'll shave some Parmesan on top of it for you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I need to give me a hell yeah from Stone Cold.
Come on, man.
I don't have it.
So no, the best part is this is the first time we generally do matinees on Sundays because
we've never done it Friday.
It's easier with our schedules and stuff when a movie comes out. Fridays, like you tend to go out of town from time to time. I don't.
Well, and we're working on a Friday, and so
Fridays just don't work for us.
No. I mean, the early if I don't take the time off, and I had time off from work, so I was like, oh, hey, I actually took the time off to play a video game, but I was like, I just thought of it like, oh, because you told me you get done early enough in the day.
Well, yeah, dude.
And so I was like, oh, duh, let's go see the movie on Friday. So
yeah. If I'm you, I get home from work on Friday, and like I'm there with like my wife and my kid, and I'm like, no, Tyler can't come over. It's Friday. No. So Sundays generally work, and matinees are cheaper, whatever. So we're excited because Thursday night is like the midnight showing. Yeah,
that's the
so like it'll be like 3:00 in the morning when they stop making popcorn. So that popcorn will be that much less shitty.
At least it's like that's like an 8-hour popcorn
instead of like 11 hours. So
do they have like I think there's like a Daily Planet bucket. I don't know which. We're going to AMC.
Jordan Creek.
Yeah, that's AMC.
Let's tell everybody.
Yeah, find our location. No, because I know that the AMC does buckets sometimes. I think there's like a Daily Planet one. I could, because
I don't know. Obviously, we've talked about the Fantastic Four ones.
No, I could look it up right now. But my point, it's not important. But we are chomping at the bit to see the movie. I have heard a lot of things. I've seen the Rotten Tomatoes. I hate using Rotten Tomatoes as like a parameter of things because this stuff is so subjective. And after really with the Ironheart shit and kind of how I was talking about criticism and talking about that, I've only watched maybe 1 or 2 reviews.
It's a crypto?
I think it's that one, yeah.
Yeah.
But then there's like there's a newspaper thing, dispenser.
Oh.
It's a Daily Planet newspaper thing, which is actually pretty cool. I kind of want it.
What? $27.90. That's not bad.
We're part of the problem.
You idiot.
Same podcast.
You stupid
that
idiot.
Fucking loses it over the Galactus bucket. Granted, that's $80.
You stupid asshole. That's what our listeners are. You son of a.
We gotta.
Sorry.
But yeah, we're talking about the bit. We're gonna talk about Superman.
Oh, so excited.
But before, and guess what? Superman got woke. I can't believe it. Even though the comic books
woke.
Hey, I got news for you, buddy. Comic books have been woke since forever, since their inception. Okay, so Superman has always been air quotes woke, because you know what? Leave it to white people to ruin and butcher a word like woke. Good job, white people. Good job. But
not one of these people who unironically uses the word woke has ever sat down and thought, if I'm asleep, the people in power can do a whole lot of shit against me.
Wouldn't you want to be awake?
I don't want to be asleep. why am I? God, and then like their brains explode, and then we're free of those people
you realize
forever.
It's the same kind of people that are like,
sorry, I don't
yeah,
care.
you're woke,
Not
but
sorry.
then we'll say, wake up. The same people go, wake up. They're doing the deep state's doing this.
Yeah.
And then they're also like, but you're woke. And I'm like, make up your fucking mind. Make up your fucking mind. So we're making up our mind about Superman on Friday once we've seen the movie. Before we're going to talk about how woke Superman is, we got to get into
It's a long box.
All right.
Sounds
You
like
went
somebody-
first last week, by the way. So I'm going to go first this week.
That's fine.
This weekend,
Mine
over
is
the holiday
Probably not
in
gonna be
America.
this fun
What?
as yours. Mine is probably
Oh.
not going to be this.
No,
fun.
I want to hear this because based on what you told me off mic, I'm like, what the fuck? But the movie I watched is a very popular movie, made a lot of money. I guess there's going to be a sequel coming of this, I think, at some point. But yeah, I saw Sinners because it premiered on HBO. And, of course, it's always hard going into it. It reminded me very much of like, Get Out and like because that was like a big deal to see someone kind of switch up genres where like so Jordan Peele is going from comedy and then going to horror and then seeing all that hype behind it. I thought that was very
To be honest, most of the time that horror has been around as a movie genre, it's mostly been white people.
yeah.
I mean, to
And
call
that's
it
what's
like
so-
it is.
and yeah.
So when Jordan Peele became, such a big deal in it, it was like, oh, how refreshing
And that's
what a new take. Why haven't we? Why has it always been so?
And that's what is exciting about Ryan Coogler doing the same thing, who was traditionally doing. No, I know he did a movie before he broke big with Creed, but like he had been making like traditional like studio action things with Creed and the Black Panther movies. So like to see him do something like that and go out and branch out and do something and do something in the horror genre. And yeah, like what I was trying to touch on is it's exciting to see these young, talented filmmakers, black filmmakers, get more of a chance in a genre that is mostly populated by white people.
Yeah.
And to tell the stories they're telling, like Sinners is
I still want to see Nope.
dude, it's like so many people like and look, it was so hyped this year. I can understand not enjoying it as much. I've been guilty of that. It's happened to me. I get it. But for me, I went in as clear-headed as possible and tried to be most like just not really like buy into the hype, just watch the movie, and I really enjoyed it. It was a fun flick. And as someone who loves horror, it was again exciting to see him do something like this. And there's so many cool little tricks that he's taken out of his bag that I don't necessarily like you don't. And again, because he's doing horror and doing something with this, you don't really see in those other movies. I feel like, and the fact that music played, like I was going in completely blind. I'd seen like a clip here or there, and I kind of knew the basic plot. But I think, and I haven't watched any interviews or anything. It's kind of awesome that he took and I don't know if he necessarily did on purpose, but the fact that he took so much inspiration from Dusk Till Dawn and just the kind of setup. It's not the same movie. I saw people like making that joke when it came out. They're not the same.
Yeah.
There's similar premises, but not the same. And how he uses so like traditional spider. Jesus, my head is all over the place. Traditional vampire. Oh, I was trying to say traditional, and then
Spider-Man.
Vampire and Spider came out somehow. But like,
Spiders are known for being part of the.
One of the biggest motifs with this movie, or like playing with the mythos, is the inviting a vampire in.
Yep.
And that it becomes a plot device, and it's so like, and it's like okay, it's a little bit of the who is a vampire.
Everybody almost dies because they don't remember that in the Lost Boys at the end.
Yeah.
Idiots.
Well, and one of my favorite things is one of the guys comes back to the because the whole thing is the Michael B. Jordan, he plays the twins. They open up a club. It's called a juke. They keep calling it a juke joint, which I guess was probably the term at the time, and it was Club Juke. And they're having this little party, and one of the dudes that's working the doors, he goes to take a piss, and there's vampires out there. They don't know they're out there yet, or they kind of have an idea, right? So he comes back, and there's just this really cool moment where they start to pick up on things, and like he's like, "Are you gonna let me in?" And they're like, "You've been in and out of here all day. Why do you need us to let you in?" And then it starts. It's like The Thing and like other good like horror, but like you start seeing the seeds getting placed and like all that other stuff. It's a fun flick, dude. And if you like From Dusk Till Dawn, I think you will like this. But keep in mind, this is a totally different. This is still its own movie. Music plays a huge part in it, and he does some cool ideas with like how, because like one of the things is music. They talk about there's sometimes an artist can play their music and play it so true that it ties to the past and the present and the future, and it like ties all of their heritage into their music. And you have a scene where one of the main characters performs, and he illustrates that in the movie. And I can't spoil it. I don't want to spoil it because it's a really cool shot. And then later in the movie, the vampires are singing and doing something similar to that, but they're singing, and like he's singing like traditional like blues music, and they were singing like Irish folk songs because of course they can't. They're white. The main group of vampires, they would be from Europe. They would be singing these things from their heritage. I was like, damn, that's so cool and so interesting. You don't see that a lot in movies like this, you know? And no, I highly recommend it. It's on HBO. Check it out. It's awesome.
Cool.
2 big thumbs up.
I'll eat your ass.
Wow.
No, it's this.
So I'm coming day and night.
Wow.
I mean, it's
If we
terrific.
really love a movie,
right?
that has to be the one.
Okay.
I want to come out of Superman saying that. And then you're going to be like,
Come on, don't bullshit me.
No,
what's your,
do the other Arnold. Don't do it.
oh, yeah. You're going to be like,
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Yeah. In the theater.
hey,
Fuck you, asshole.
what do we do if we just play the soundboard now?
Because I'm wild, yeah.
All right, what's your long box?
So I have a smart TV like most people, and it's a Roku powered TV. So everything is kind of under Roku. Like it's you got a home screen and stuff, and it's got recommendations and things. And I like a lot of sci-fi. Clearly, I watch a lot. Basically, as far as Roku is concerned, I love movies starring Chevy Chase and anything with spaceships.
Well, as much as you fucking talk about Funny Farm, more than anybody on planet Earth.
Did I tell you it's on Netflix and now it's gone again?
No!
Yes!
It was there for a whole week.
Jerk in New York is like living off of the royalties from Funny Farm, and he's like, no, we can make it free. No, I need money. We better
One of our 6 listeners is like, he's the guy that just keeps... He has the license to that fucking movie, and he just keeps dropping it on random streaming services
just to piss
fuck
me off.
with you. Well, Tyler hasn't talked about in Funny Farm in 6
I've
months.
also I've also watched I've found like the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings movie, like the rotoscope.
Oh yeah, the animated one.
Scanner Darkly is one of my favorites. So Heavy Metal. So I clearly
I've never actually seen. I've heard them like I know.
Did you watch the South Park episode?
Yeah, that's
honestly that's
pretty much
all
it.
you need. Yeah. The actual movie is stupid. It is bad.
So speaking of stupid movies,
you should watch it at least once, honestly, just all the way through, because it's just like, what the fuck? And the music isn't even that good in Heavy Metal.
sopping tits. That's all I remember.
Awesome rocking tits. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. And it's all cat pee. Yeah. Love that. Like, Kenny gets them all started, like, and like afterwards, their faces are yellow, and they're just cross-eyed because they're yellow with covered in cat piss. I don't know if you've ever owned a cat, but goddamn, if you,
anyway,
yeah, you know a cat. Yeah.
You talk about your box.
So I'm talking about your box. Let's hear about your box.
Morning Zoo. Talk about your box and win tickets to
Talk
Creed.
about your box Tuesday.
Talk about your long box.
So Roku recommended me this movie called Gandahar, Gandahar, and it's the picture is this very beautiful woman who has wings where her ears should be, and she's bald. So I was like, what the fucking fuck is this? What kind of this is what happens when you order heavy metal from Temu. You know what I mean? You're just like, this is not right. Like, first example, I know this sounds totally like whatever, but no, there are a lot of boobs in Kandahar. But none of them are awesome or rocking.
Or bodacious.
No. I'm just kidding. The animation is not that good. Like, the guys who made heavy metal were like, I want to make sure these boobs look good.
They got to jiggle.
The
All their
people who
money went to the jiggle thing.
The people who made Kandahar were like, oh, we'll put nipples to make sure you can tell that they don't have shirts on, but that's about it. Which is fine.
I still jerked it, but...
Come on, don't bullshit me.
I don't even know like really what the movie was about. It starts off and there's all these, creatures playing and they all kind of look the same. Like they all kind of look like the lady in the picture. And they're all kind of playing and it looks like a utopia, if you will. It's just these simple folk and they're picking fruit and swimming in the fountains, and it's very gorgeously written, drawn and everything, right? And you're like, oh, this is neat. And then they get zapped by some unseen force, and all of a sudden we're in a throne room where the lady is there with her earwings. You got mad at me for talking over your stuff, so get your hand away from the fucking soundboard there, mister. No, I see you. You're like,
I would never.
Zing. No, I get you.
What?
Yep. So
I like that one. So it's okay.
no, but it's like it's a guy and he's talking to she's like the queen and she's in this throne, in this really tall throne, and this guy is talking to her like the robots are coming, and it's translated from the French, by the way. So awesome, right? Like,
Oh yeah, it's
French.
French.
Fucking bonus, right? Like French science fiction, fucking kick my ass, man. Woo!
Chocolat bleu.
Yeah, suck. So he's like, we got to stop the robots and stuff. And she's like, well, what say the Council of Women? And they look and they show this like group of 4 ladies and they're all bald like her. They don't have wings, but they're all topless.
Nice.
But it's just like,
I need the nice.
but it's just
No,
like,
wait.
Nice.
but it's just like, why? I mean, I'm fine, but like, what? That's a weird design choice for like the characters. Anyway, so they're like, listen, we got to send this dude. And she's like, what's the name of the dude? And they're like, this guy. And she's like, this guy. And the guy shows up. I can't remember. The guy shows up.
Is this real dialogue?
The guy shows up basically, except for this guy is pronounced
This guy.
something that starts with an S.
This guy.
This guy shows up and she's like, you are my son. You can't go. And that's when I was like, I don't know if I want to watch the rest of this. So I turned it off for a little bit, and then I came back and watched it while I was cleaning my room. So I didn't really pay that much attention because it's not that good. It's just not really good. But every once in a while, you got to take a chance.
Take a chance.
Every once in a while, you got to take a chance.
On me.
Like, okay, Mickey
Yeah, you never
17.
know.
I really want to watch it, but like, I have to be in the mood, and I have to be like, I'm gonna devote all this time to this movie.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying Kandahar is bad. It's just not that good, if you will. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't hit really any. It didn't really hit any keys with me, or any buttons. Didn't press any of my buttons, whatever you want to call it. The animation is very pretty, but again, it's just like, what? What's the deal with the wings on the head?
And the topless council.
You know? And you
Yeah.
know what? At no point in the movie does she flap away with those wings. I watched the rest of it just to make sure.
You gotta have wings. You're gonna use them.
But it's something about these robots taking over this like peaceful society, and they got to fight back and blah blah blah. Yeah, Gandahar's the name of the planet.
Wow. All right.
And that's my
Anyway.
long box.
That's time for the long box, and now it's time for the time for some news.
Did you see the trailer for Wakanda, Eyes of Wakanda?
Yes.
Yes.
Interesting.
Oh, and I do, real quick before we go on to the news, I do want to tell you, I tried to text this to you, but apparently he mutes me on the weekends. So
I don't answer no one. Outside the double negative. I answer no one.
It's fine.
It's
our-
3-day weekend.
it's-
Fuck you.
It's your show. You can say it however the fuck you. Anyway,
No, I know.
So I texted you, and I was like, "Hey, I watched the. I kind of read up on Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto, and don't get me wrong, like I liked the show the first episode I watched, but then I was like, I'm not probably. It's probably not a big deal that I'm missing the middle 4 episodes. So I watched episode 6, and I just got to say I was blown away. I don't know if you noticed, but at one point he's dipping his spoon out of his tea.
His reflection.
Yeah.
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 No, he's
awesome.
And I love that he changed his accent from the flashback to the present. I like that. And like
he's a trickster. Like he's worse than Loki.
How did you feel about her taking the offer?
I
was like, damn.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, I mean, according to the show's creators, they were saying that, you know, it shows what kind of a person she is because she's willing to take the heat to bring her friend back to life. Yeah. Even though
give
she's
her a second chance.
Even though there's going to be serious consequences for her.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
I disagree. I think, and now that you've seen it, I can kind of talk about it a little bit. I think that I don't agree with that because to me, it comes off as, again, I don't even know if I should word it that way, but the way I interpreted it was she didn't learn anything.
No.
Because she should have, because the whole time you're telling me, especially with her brother, is saying you need to accept it. You need to deal with it. You're not dealing with this. The whole fucking show is about her not dealing with it. So I don't buy that response. I think that response is, or I think what they're, I don't know. I just don't buy that.
No, they know. I mean, there's going to be serious consequences for her, and clearly she didn't learn anything.
But it's not heroic because
I don't.
Because she should have.
In a way, it can be, I guess. But yeah,
I'm sorry.
You're still selling your soul to the devil.
It's disrespectful, in my opinion. If as much as I'm saying like in real life, I would give anything to talk to my dad one more time. Right.
But say he comes back and you tell him you're back because I sold my soul to the devil.
Let me finish. That's not my point. Oh. That's not even what I'm trying to get at. My point is that opens a whole new can of worms of grief and confusion and trauma because you were dead. People don't come back, and you did. But maybe they'll deal with that in season 2. I don't know.
But you know, if say you had to tell him that, you know what I mean?
Or like what you said, the fact that I had to make a deal with the fucking devil and
he'd be like, I was already dead, and you're young. You know,
you had your whole life.
Yeah, I could have stayed dead just fine.
Yeah.
But now I'm alive for no real reason.
You will learn to live with this. You will learn to carry on with this.
And you know, Mephisto would make it so that like he like gets hit by a car the next day. You know.
Yeah.
Well, I brought him back for a day, but your soul's eternally mine. Like,
and that's what. And so
shouldn't have made that deal.
I don't know.
Anyway, I liked it.
But it kind of I enjoyed it. The show, but yeah, I do think that I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that because again, it just you telegraphed that she was going to let her friend stay dead and then she didn't. So it's like, what was the point?
Yeah. So what's in the news, my man?
But I will say, I did like that because it's a unique ending, like story-wise.
My favorite was when I looked it up. A lot of the internet chatter that I saw was Borat is Mephisto. And I was just like, I don't know if you assholes are aware of this or anything, but Sacha Baron Cohen is like a classically trained actor.
Yeah.
And he's really fucking good at what he does. And the reason why you can't say Borat...
skill to be Borat.
You can't say Borat is Mephisto because Borat is another character entirely that Sacha Baron Cohen, as good as he is, has disappeared into. Just like the guy in Ricky Bobby. Just like
Ricky Bobby.
Did you ever watch the Ollie G show?
No, but I've seen clips.
He couldn't do it after a while because people started recognizing him.
That's why he had to do all the disguises in Borat too.
Yes. Yes.
Bruno, which a lot of people don't like. I think it's funny.
His whole deal was that he was really adept at disappearing into a character so well that people like who knew him didn't know that it was him.
Fight him.
Yeah.
He had legitimate people trying to attack him on talk shows when he was doing the Bruno character.
Oh yeah.
That's how believable he was. Yeah, it was cool to see him doing it, and it was cool to see him outside of comedy and see, like, I know he's done other dramatic roles, but to see him in something like this and to be, the devil.
Yes.
I love his line about Dormammu.
Yeah.
He wishes he could lick my asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just suitably just a jerk.
Such a beautiful jerk.
Yes. Did you ever watch that Lucifer show?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've seen episodes.
That show was the guy who played him. I can't remember his name, but he was really good.
Yeah.
And it's very much like that. It's just like a
and you
slimy.
see why he is why he seduced Parker and how he seduced Riri in that show, because he's a charming guy.
Yeah.
But
he's a charming guy.
So, Tyler, I don't know if you know this, but we are in the news section now.
SpaghettiOs.
I don't know if you should know this, but according to Fox News, Superman is super woke. You know why?
So that means I'm gonna love it.
Yeah, I know. It's like, again, continue to tell me how you're like, I'm a champion of this shit and I'm a fan of it, and then just be like, wait, you can't call Superman an immigrant, even though he's literally an alien from another planet.
Well, what they're trying to do is distract you from the fact that the government and the Supreme Court together literally just made it real easy for Trump to do whatever the fuck he wants, like with no checks or balances.
Yeah.
The big beautiful bill
we have
and the
fucking
recent
alligator
Supreme Court
Auschwitz in Florida.
The Supreme Court decision, the Supreme Court decision overturning the Circuit Court decision. It literally the entire system was designed so that we could not have a king, and now we do, because all these fucksticks.
I don't care. I do care about that, but that's,
you know what? You're a traitor if you want to make a king in this fucking country, man. You're a fucking traitor.
What are we talking
Hey,
about?
Seth.
Time out.
Okay.
What are we talking about?
What's in the news?
So yeah, we're talking about what James Gunn recently said in an interview. I think it was with Vanity Fair, maybe. But the quote that's been making the rounds.
My favorite magazine is Vanity Unfair.
Also, first off, I want to say, look at that, Chuds. You finally got your red meat, is what I want to say about this segment. But also, I want to say he's playing you dumb fucks. So James Gunn, in a recent interview, was talking about Superman, obviously, and was the quote that everybody is talking about. He said, quote, I mean, Superman is the story of America, an immigrant that came from other places and populated the country. But for me, it is mostly a story that says basic human kindness is a value and it's something we have lost.
Yeah.
End quote. Again, alligator Auschwitz. That's the world we live in now. And so, yeah, of course, you got the usual chuds having the backlash of it. And again, I fear for this country, because we have some really stupid motherfuckers in this country that have followings. I was like, we haven't done the Griff Report in so long, because a lot of the time,
yeah,
like,
nice.
I want to focus on things that I enjoy.
I wish you would have told me this. I would have
Time
come
out.
over.
Stop. This isn't going to be a Griff Report. All right? Just chill.
You just hear headphones.
I just want to kind of...
Fuck you, man.
I want to kind of talk about this, because this is actually done the opposite of what these chuds are saying. Him doubling down and saying that this is an immigration story because he is an immigrant. You got Bounding into Comics. They have a YouTube channel. And just for thing, I was like, do I bring it back? So then I was like mining of like, are there clips worth pulling for this? And what I found is no. Because again, it's boring. And he gifted them this. Not really, because he was just saying a true statement. And
they're too stupid.
But I also think he knows the game a little bit, and so does everybody else, because on the red carpet at the premiere, Variety directly asked him about it, and he addressed it again. And you know what? They got even more mad. And there's more to this quote. I just kind of got the part that I really wanted to touch on. Most of this. Again, if you are mad, time out. And because I'll play the clip. Of James and Sean Gunn on the red carpet addressing this.
Oh.
But I really want to drive this home. If you are mad because you think Superman is getting political, because James Gunn said it is political, and you're mad because this guy said this is a movie about kindness, think about it. Just sit.
Think about what you're mad
You are
about.
mad at a movie about kindness? Think about it. But anyway, he was asked about the immigration stuff, quote, and here's what he said.
It's a political movie. MAGA today is going nuts. What do you have to say to MAGA? I don't have anything. I think this movie's for everybody. I don't have anything to say to anybody. Like I'm not here to judge people, you know. I think this is a movie about kindness, and I think that's something everyone can relate to. Your boss, your brother, talked about Superman being an immigrant, and now MAGA is already upset that he's called Superman an immigrant. I wanted to get your reaction.
My reaction to that is that it is exactly what the movie is about. I think that we support our people. We love our immigrants. Yes, Superman is an immigrant, and yes, the people that we support in this country are immigrants. And if you don't like that, then you're not American. People who say no to immigrants.
Nothing. Oh, yeah.
Are against the American way. They're against what the American dream is all about.
Yeah,
Truth.
yeah. Fucking fuck you, MAGA. Fuck you all. Fuck you, cult motherfuckers. Don't get me started, man. Can we move on?
No. I just want to say
I get so mad.
I'm happy that they doubled down on that and said,
Who's on your phone?
it's just the
Don't tell me.
What do you? Get out of here. It's the thing. It's the fucking video, Tyler. What are you looking at?
Oh.
You silly goose.
I thought that was your screensaver. I'm like, who's that
Sean
dude?
Gunn is my lock screen.
Well, wouldn't blame you. He's a handsome man.
No, I don't have anything else. I agree. Again, you're kind of showing your cards.
Yeah.
When Fox News is like super woke is what they call it. And yeah, by the way, the clips that I was going to look into to it was just worth mining. It's just the same bullshit all over again. But my favorite one was from Bounding into Comics. I was like watching this on 2x speed. Even then, this guy is boring as shit. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to mine anything from this, am I? But he gave me I'm not going to play a clip. But there was a little bit that made me just be like, you have lost the fucking plot. He keeps being like, he's not an immigrant. He's not an immigrant. He looks it up. He types out. He has the definition of immigrant pulled up, and then he goes, actually, I would say he's more this because Krypton exploded. Blah blah blah. He says he's a refugee. Hey, buddy, he's still immigrated if he's a fucking refugee.
Also, does that mean you're cool with refugees?
Yeah,
because it sounds like you're like, I'm not okay with immigrants, but refugees is okay. I bet you your answer is no, so fuck off. Why are you even...
Here's the most important thing.
Bounding into Comics. Why are you even talking?
Here's the most important thing, everybody. Superman isn't real. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you fucking idiots.
All right, next topic.
Next topic?
Is
there more news?
There's one more news story.
Crazy.
Tyler, it's been 30 years since the Age of Apocalypse.
Oh, God.
So Marvel is changing the X-Men status quo again. They're starting the Age of Revelation. By the way, it's Apocalypse's son that's starting all this.
Oh, yeah, what's Apocalypse's son name?
Revelation. He has a fucking first and last name, but he's also known as Revelation. Hence the title. Because we're out of ideas. But Tyler, I'm going to give you the controls to the soundboard.
Oh, okay.
And we're doing a list. Because I want you to hear how fucking silly this whole thing is. Because Marvel released their solicit, because this is in October, I think.
Yeah.
Is when it starts. And Marvel released their full, because guess what? It's X-Men, so there has to be a crossover. And they released their full solicitations of the shit in the titles. So you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here you go, buddy.
Here, which one is it? Man.
You can do Skeletor and Stone Cold. It's up to you. But we got a list. Yeah. Because I want you to...
Oh, Jesus.
That's
and then
good.
we also got... Oh, God damn it. I was trying to turn your volume down. I'm sorry.
Doing?
I was going to turn your volume down like one.
Press
Sorry.
the
I
thing.
know. Don't be pissy.
Come on.
Shut up. Okay, so Skeletor, what? Where is he? What color is he? Do you know?
The Stone Cold one is black and white.
Black and white. There we go. What 316?
Yeah. All right, here's the...
Misery. That's what you
I
chose.
pressed the wrong one.
Well, that's about what you're about to go through, dear listener. So here we go.
Do you remember
We
when...
got a lot of books. Amazing X-Men.
What?
You gotta be quicker. Unbreakable X-Men.
What?
Expatriate X-Men.
What?
By the way, missed opportunity. You're going to put it EX? You're not just going to put Expatriate? Fucking lazy. Or would they be lazy to do that? I don't know. Radioactive Spider-Man.
What?
So it's not just X-Men. They're incorporating, X-Vengers.
What?
Iron and Frost.
What?
Which I'm sure is about Tony Stark and Emma Frost being together. Binary.
What?
Long Shots.
What?
Sinisters 6.
Nice.
Cloak and Dagger.
What?
Omega Reds.
What?
Yeah. Undead Pool.
What?
The Lost Wolverine.
Sloppy.
God, this one made me just guffaw because I'm like, wow, Marvel, you really just can't fucking help yourselves. Remember Eddie Brock Carnage? Now we got Laura Kinney. Is it Kinney? Laura Kinney, Sabretooth.
Fuck you, asshole.
I agree. Rogue Storm.
What?
And then finally, to put a big bow on it, X-Men Book of Revelation.
Hang on.
Brilliant!
Why?
I didn't listen to one of those because you know what? I'm not going to fucking buy one of those
No,
fucking
I wanted to
books.
make a point to show you, to read off those titles, to show you how many fucking titles are in this thing. And it's like, you and I were talking about it off mic before the show. It's like, why do they always do this to X-Men? Why does X-Men always have to be tied to every fucking thing and every fucking event? And it just always... They literally made a whole thing about fucking Hickman. I keep saying fucking. With Hickman and Hoxpox and doing that whole thing and bringing back the X-Men and doing all that stuff. And then blowing it all... Doing the Krakoa shit. Blowing it all up to do this, which is another stupid event.
It's late stage capitalism. Everything
we
has to
got
be
Age
bigger,
of
bigger, bigger,
Apocalypse.
bigger, bigger. Everything
have
has
to
be.
do a sequel.
Hey, listen, man. Some asshole in an office was like, "Well, if we did a crossover with just the X-Men and we made this much money, and we did one with just the Avengers, we made this much money. Think about how much money we're going to do if we do one involving both."
Avengers versus X-Men.
Late stage capitalism, dude.
Or well, we got that
That's why
Eternals movie, so we got to do X.
That's why there's a comic out right now called Wolverines and Deadpools. I fucking shit you not. And no, I didn't buy that shit because I won't fucking be a party to this crap. I don't care what it is. No.
Why is every Marvel
I don't
character
know.
a fucking multiverse character? Why? Why Marvel? Why do we have to have a Spider-Verse and a Venom-verse and a Wolverine-verse and a Deadpool?
There
core
already is
and
a title called Deadpool and Wolverine. Why is it Wolverines and Deadpools? Like what?
No, but you got to see, Tyler. It's a tag team of Wolverine.
That poor kid who
Against
only
a
gets
tag
like
team.
$10 allowance a week. Like I gotta make him use all of his $10 this week. Like you dick, fucking dick. Fuck you, Marvel and DC. Yeah, with your extra dollar cover. Why don't you fuck off, you guys? Bunch of assholes. You know what? I'm gonna go you one better. Bunch of a-holes. That's even worse.
You know what?
Yeah.
Ew, fuck you.
Darn right.
All right.
Okay.
Tyler, let's talk about some comics.
I could write a book about what
Fucking pronouns!
That actually worked really well.
Yeah, that was it.
I could write a book about fucking pronouns. Let's get this out of the way
There's a
right
half
away
of the laugh
because I
in it.
didn't read it.
I could write a book about what you don't know.
I flipped through it.
Gwenpool.
Yeah, let's get it out
I
of the way.
read it.
Okay.
It sucked.
Yeah, look. Okay, so
I tried not to be
all
mean.
new, all deadly Gwenpool, and it's number
By
one.
Cavan, Scott, and Stefano Nesi.
Yeah, good one, dude.
I had it
Look
pulled
at
up
you.
on the
Nice. Look at you.
computer.
Um.
Yeah. So how do you even break this down? So Gwen,
Just quickly, please.
Gwenpool. So there's Fing Fang Foom is tearing up New York and
Yes.
fucking shit up. Oh, by the way,
I read that
you
it was
know
supposed to
something
be like
funny?
She-Hulk. What?
Did not read the first like 2 or 3 pages, and I'm like, wait a minute,
What?
And then I went back. I was like, wait, Maker's in this? But anyway, so I accidentally just opened straight to the title page because I'm like, and then I looked back later to see, oh, there was more. And I'm like, I don't fucking care. So
'Cause
anyway,
it's
Fing Fang Foom's fucking up New York, and Spider-Man is hanging out there, and he's like, I need help, you know. And Hawkeye, and of course, because Marvel Rivals is out, we gotta have Jeff the fucking Landshark. God, I hate that character. I would punt that. If I saw that shark, I'd fucking punt it.
fantastic.
So anyway, if you played that fucking game, you knew what I was talking
Okay.
about, Tyler. All right, I'm not.
So
I love animals.
here's the point: is I
She
read.
shows up and she's like, "Hey, I
Right,
can
well,
beat
I-
him because
Okay.
I can." Yeah.
Well, she steps. Yeah, it's not even worth talking. Look,
She uses her fourth wall breaking powers
Right,
to become
and
bigger
look-
than Fing Fang Foom, and that's about it.
I asked Jake if he'd read the She-Hulk John Byrne run. The first I think it's first 8 or 9 issues of that run is just brilliant shit. And he was like, no, so I'm gonna let him borrow it, and we're gonna review it at some point. But I read that it was like that, and I was like, okay, cool. So I picked it up just to see, and it's multiverse. It's characters that should have stayed dead, like Gwen Stacy. I'm sorry.
Why the fuck?
I'm sorry, but she should have
Spider-Gwen
stayed dead.
And Gwenpool, and I guess in a way,
I'm okay with
time out.
an.
Time out. I guess in a way, maybe it's a way to honor Stan's wife because he was always upset because Gwen Stacy was always like a stand-in for his wife.
Yeah, but he's
And
the
he
one
was
who made. Hey, he's the one who said she can't come back. Her and Jean
He
Grey,
did
they're
say it.
not
Yeah,
allowed
yeah,
to come
yeah.
back
And then they,
because everybody else came back.
yeah.
And then Marvel
I
was
don't
the
remember
third
him
one because
saying
he
that.
died of cancer.
Sorry.
Captain Marvel. That's why they've never brought him back because he died of cancer.
But anyway,
and
Marvel
they were
said
like,
fuck that and brought Gwen Stacy.
yeah, so twice. So fucking
Yeah.
that's all you need to
Not
know.
just-
Put it back in the thing and
Not-
get it out of here.
That's what's crazy. Makes me laugh about this. It's not just Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider or whatever.
Gwen Stacy.
It's fucking Gwenpool. Why is Gwen Stacy matched up with Deadpool? Why?
You want to know why? Because somebody made a variant cover one. No, this is the fucking truth. Somebody made a variant cover one time, the all incredible Gwenpool, and fans, also the assholes who have made people like Bounding Into Comics famous, and who watch Fox News, were like, "That's just cool. Make a comic book. Take that worthless trite." Fun one-off and make it into a thing. And Marvel was like,
They're just like,
"Will
hold
you?"
on, let me.
Swing a web.
Marvel was like, "You'll pay us money," and they're like, "Of course we will." I'm like, "Well, you got it, motherfuckers."
Why? I remember I texted you after I read Gwenpool. First off,
Why?
I'm like, dude, I need a giant size issue of Silver Surfer Black. Like,
Oh,
I was gonna say my thoughts
have you
about
flipped through that Doctor Strange yet at all?
not yet.
Okay.
But yeah, and then I texted you right after because I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I read Gwenpool, and I was like, that was something.
And I texted back. I'm like, it was certainly printed on paper.
Which I hate to. That is honestly the worst thing I could say about it. It's
The
not
art's not
good. It's not bad. I just don't give a shit about it.
the art's not bad. Yeah, I mean, not trying to call out the creative team at all because look, you're probably like,
Hey,
cool. I get to work for Marvel.
You
You know what I
published
mean?
a book for Marvel, and I
That-
haven't.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I'm
Yeah.
not. There was nothing specifically about the writing or art that was like, I don't like it. But for whatever reason, it just is so been there, done that already, and I haven't even gotten to like page 4, and it's like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, you guys. So
Yeah,
moving on,
I did not care.
moving on.
No, moving on. All right, I'll say it, because Tyler doesn't bang this drum enough. I fucking love Absolute Martian Manhunter. Love that shit. I'll say it right now.
It's
I
not
need it.
that I don't love it. It is.
The art is just mwah.
The art is look. You got one more issue to tell me what this is about. One more.
I think it's just him being a cop. And
there's always some sort of arc.
Yeah, and
right?
and it's the White Martian as well, but
Right.
it's I feel like a lot of the issues are just going to be him doing the beat, and then the White Martian shit pops up. Also, you have to keep in mind this might not just be a 5-issue arc. This team is together for 12 issues. For 12 issues. So it might be the whole entire arc. We don't know. But I do understand where you're coming from, because I will be quite honest. As much as I enjoyed these books, I kind of forgot what happened in the 3rd issue. So by the time but it doesn't matter, because by the time the 4th, because it keeps tying back to the White
art
Martians.
is so gorgeous. Look, it starts off with a dude
taking his head off and
making the sun, and then it's just it shows like this bump, and then there's a riot downtown.
It's what I keep saying. It is a book that, like, this story,
all the words written on her
this
face.
could work as a movie.
Oh,
But
yeah.
this style could not work as a movie. It works as this, and that's what I keep. And with this, and with Silver Surfer Black, we'll talk about later. It's like, this is what I want when I'm talking about a comic book. I want something to push the boundaries visually and really make it like.
Yeah.
When she's mad and she's staring at him, and it's all the different words she's seeing. Enough, bad father, absent, separation, not happy, alone.
Yeah.
Like, because it starts with him saying, "We're gonna have a fight." And this whole issue is this heat wave and all this crazy shit happening, but like the big third act of it is a marital dispute, which is kind of all the wacky art and everything. It's still a very human book. You know what I mean?
The main part of the book is issue 4 is his strained relationship with his wife, because he doesn't know how to tell her. I don't think he knows at this point what really happened before they moved to the new town. Like, I don't know if he even knows.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's just like trying to do his best to not give it away.
And he's still not quite sure that the Martian.
But I
is
still
real.
think John Jones is still there. Like, the guy that she married is still there somewhere. Especially because they often show, obviously nobody can see it but him, but they often show the Martian sitting right next to him, or like in the case where they were at the crime scene, and he's like off in the corner.
Yeah, he's always in the background.
Yeah,
doing shit.
and
I love
there's
that.
one where he's like driving in the car and he's got his arm out. Yeah, dude.
There's a part where they're laying next to each other on the couch.
Yes,
and
they like become each other. Yeah,
I'm like, I love this. And honestly, you want to talk about where you're like, I don't know, this feels like kind of more like the main stuff, but I'm like, yeah, but how this is different than the usual shit is that's still John.
Yeah.
Or like, John is still the Martian.
Yeah.
They're separate. Or no, they're not separate like this, I thought, right? Because my interpretation was he just has what this John Jones. It's like a disguise.
I think here's.
I'm not. I don't.
The original Martian Manhunter was a Martian that came to Earth after all of his family was wiped out in a fire, and his big thing is fire.
This shit, like, dude, ugh.
He becomes a human detective.
Yeah.
And he starts, trying to do what he can, but he's lost his memory. And then he becomes the Martian Manhunter, and he regains his memories, all that shit. So I'm not sure what's happening here. My thought is that the Manhunter, the Martian, is inside of him, like in his brain. That whole thing with his eyeball on the next page.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that. So, like just a couple things with how they're playing with shading.
Yeah.
Like when he's putting his clothes, she's in bed, he's putting and then the shadow is the Manhunter. He's talking, and then there's like this green transparent mask of the Manhunter over his face, and like, just so much. And then the fucking shot with him and the Manhunter in his eyeball. Like, what are we like? What?
So I'm not sure exactly what's going on, and here's the thing that this you could do anything about this book.
Yeah. And like, so the eyeball
and it would be fine to me because I don't know enough about the Martian Manhunter and
I agree. That's what I was gonna say when when I was reading this.
As far as I can tell, the only difference, I don't know what the difference is, but again, if it's a slow burn, okay, you know what I mean? Okay,
But like,
but the art and the writing is such that I'm enjoying every issue.
Yes, and how they're playing with colors and shading and just like, again, really stretching what this book can do as a medium.
Really stretching out
Your butthole, really?
my
Your
butthole, my farts. What?
Like this example when she finally says, all right, we're fucking fighting. Stop avoiding me. And there's the smoke coming from a cigarette, and it gets intertwined with the Manhunter again. And then, she's talking, and as she's talking, his pupils, you see the sun that's been the running thing, and then the sun shows, and the Manhunter is fucking around with the sun and shit in the background
throughout the entire. If you see, he's
she,
breaking off the rays.
Yeah, he's
at
trying
one
to
point,
cool
I think on
things
that
down.
page.
Yeah, he's literally, and then he's like grabbing, and like he's like he even says like the Manhunter is messing with the sun while we're fighting or some shit. Like it's just
what he doesn't know is now. The first time I read through this issue, I thought that he had made those three people do what they did.
Right.
But when I read it again and again, I realized that no, the White Martian made them do just as he's been making everybody do everything. And maybe that first character is the White Martian that takes his head off and makes the sun.
I think it might be.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be something. Maybe it's not even the sun. It's just a different star that we perceive as, And I think they're kind of playing.
But I love that each one of them's got a color, and throughout this whole fight, you see them like in little corner
she's
shots.
in red, he's in blue, like
Right.
just the shading.
No,
and then-
the three guys.
Oh yeah.
Like it's like pink and blue and yellow.
Yeah, but it matches the color.
Yeah.
It matches because he's playing with the colors and the lights.
Yeah.
Dude, just read the fucking book.
Yeah,
man. It's so
motherfucker.
good.
Yeah.
But when they had the fight and he does the thing with the eyeball trick on the panels, and then he looks at her and she's rainbow colored, I was like, "What am I? This is so cool."
Oh, dude, the shot where like all the fireworks are going off behind her.
So he goes. She says, "I doubt how you feel about me," and he says, "You doubt," and then you see an explosion of color, and it's like like a firework or just different fucking shit, and it's like again. The beauty of this art and the beauty of this medium for this on this team is like cooking, man. I'm digging this shit, and I do want to kind of know the grander scheme of what's going on. But like you said, I'm invested.
If it's a slow burn, okay.
But yeah, he's hugging her and trying to make things right, and then the three guys have the thing, and then she looks down.
They go blow up some
John,
power
I
plants.
don't know who you are anymore, and then it cuts to him, and he's the Martian, and I'm like, I knew that. It's like almost I could tell it was gonna happen on the next panel, but it was just so cool to like be like,
Yeah.
I love that shit.
I love the way that he draws him too. Is just kind of like a big, almost like a claymation character.
Yeah, he's like
He's
weird.
not even really. He's vaguely humanoid.
This is one of my favorite panels. It's the panel where John is sleeping on the couch and the Manhunter's passed out. On the
he's
other
vaguely humanoid. Like his head's way
looks
too
like
big.
He's too soft.
He's got like one eye. He's got gloves that seem like they're part of his. Anyway, the point is this book is great. Keep reading it. We're keeping reading it.
We're not even close to done talking about this.
What do you mean? At the end of that
Martian man
is when they blow up the
I was
stuff.
say the Martian man fucker. I meant to say mind fucker, but I said Martian man fucker.
Make sure it gets in the board in the bag because I
got
all
a
about
different comic book. I got the Martian man fucker.
man fucker. That's my favorite. Oh, hand me those two. Sorry.
No, I haven't read those.
I know. Hand me that one so I can
Mad.
so I can wipe
main
my
event,
ass
ladies and
with it.
gentlemen.
We got time. You want to take a break?
No. Okay. I do got it. How do you know my bladder? How do you know I have to pee at this?
I have to take it.
Shit.
Did you get smuts?
I could write a book about what you don't know.
You could write a book about
Silver Surfer.
Silver Surfer. The Chrome Voisin. All of them.
Watches one French movie with some topless chicks in it. He thinks
That was also subbed. That was
also in English.
That was also
dubbed?
dubbed in English.
But I put this
Who the fuck do you? Who the fuck? Who the fuck? Okay, so I think it was at the end of one of those major crossovers, and Guardians of the Galaxy, which includes like a lot of the cosmic heroes in Marvel, are all falling down a giant well, like a black hole.
Yeah.
I do want to touch on. I love this whole page. when he talks about all the different civilizations, like the dogs.
Yeah.
That's just fucking great. But and also the silver gods has to be remembered for the end. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Hey, wink.
Wink.
So they're all falling down, and Silver Surfer basically says, "Hey, I can save everybody at the cost of myself." And like these, just it's just like he's falling through eternity, back to the past, basically back to the beginning of our universe, basically.
Yeah.
But it's just the art it's Donny Cates and Trad Moore.
Yeah.
And Trad Moore is one of those artists who's just revolutionary. When you start reading that Doctor Strange book, you'll notice that there's a bit of a medieval robot thing going on in his work.
I want to talk about Silver Surfer's eyes.
Okay.
I think it's intentional that he makes it look kind of like Spider-Man because he's fighting Null in this book. Because am I crazy or does his eyes look like Spider-Man?
I just think...
You know what I mean?
Look
at that. And no, and if that is a choice, that's cool. If not, I do see the vision. He also kind of, like, with how well he does the shading, kind of evokes like Dr. Manhattan a little bit. Like, I just love...
Well, okay, like...
And yeah, I just love the look of the chrome in this.
Do you remember did you read that Death of Silver Surfer #1 that I brought?
Yeah.
Okay, you notice how he was like chrome in that one? Okay, in this one he's silver, but it's a flat silver, right? It's a matte almost. Yeah. And I prefer that.
Yeah, I think it looks great in this.
There are moments of shininess, and clearly he's supposed to be shiny. But one of the aspects of this book that is kind of overlooked, I think, every time I read it, is how he's slowly turning black. Mm-hmm. Like it starts with his hand when he tries to help. He tries to. I can't remember what he does, but he gets rid of Null at some point when he falls into this.
He falls back into this planet, and he finds out it's a planet that has Null in it, and it ends with "Here there be dragons" is the caption he says, and it's "I am Null, you may call me God," because he says they worship God.
Yeah,
and they keep attacking him because they think that he's going after.
And it's weird because they're really big, but they don't seem so big when he gets there. And then they start fighting him, and like one of them is just like this giant like fleur de lis type of guy, and he's just got these huge hammers on these cables that are like his arms. Mm-hmm. And they squash him and stuff, and he fights back, and he's clearly suffering. His powers are not all there. But he's just trying to
trapped by Null on this.
Yeah,
planet.
and Null traps him. Yeah, and he's like, "Fuck, what do I do?" Because I can't fight him, and he knows who Null is, but this is at the beginning of time, so Null doesn't know who he is.
Yeah, and this whole thing is taking place, and like, it's funny because like this is like okay, so this is how Donny Cates can justify. Because this was peak King in Black era at Marvel, and this was peak. We have to integrate Null into everything somehow to do
because he's the next big bad,
right? And so Donny Cates is like, here's how I'll have I can have my cake and eat it too. Is like
it's pretty
make
brilliant.
it canon, but then also kind of make it inconsequential because of how he did it narratively, and I think it's kind of fun. So yeah, we're in the beginning of time, and it's the first time Null and Silver Surfer fight. He gets him for a while, but then he finally gets him, and he calls him his Void Knight. So
yes,
he turns him, and the symbiote covers Silver Surfer.
Yeah,
and he's in full service to him, and he says, welcome, Void Knight. We are joined. We are one. You are my So essentially, he makes him his herald.
Yeah.
And then
Silver Surfer fights back.
Silver Surfer gets zapped away.
So when I
think is Galactus, but then it's revealed to be
when
Ego.
I first started reading comics again on a fairly regular basis, it was when this was, I believe, issue number 2 was out, and I somehow got 1 and 2, and then I was able to. I think I got the reprint of number 1 because it was already whatever. But I got 1 and 2, and then I missed 3, or no, I missed 2. And that because that's the one where number 2 is the one where he fights Null.
They fight and he gets chased.
And I totally So I come up, so I read 1, 3, 4, and 5, and just blown away by the entire series. So it was really cool because you and I were talking about it with Fantastic Four. What kind of books can we read leading up to these two huge tentpole movies? Last week we did Man of Steel, John Byrne's Man of Steel for Superman, and this week we're doing Silver Surfer Black for Fantastic Four, and it's really really just great that I was able to find it for like $10, and I got the whole
the
5
hand
issues.
thing is after he becomes a Void Knight.
Okay, yeah, because he has
It
to
just
fight.
stays on him.
Yeah.
after
And
Ego
so he
Ego pulls him to him.
and Ego is just the way he draws Ego is fucking
The
fantastic
fact
because
that
it's a
his
young
eyeballs are moons.
it's a young Ego,
Yeah.
right? So he doesn't have like a beard and he's got like funky teeth
Ego
like
at the
a kid
beginning of
does.
time. It's not.
You know, gap teeth and stuff. You know what I mean? It's like a little teenage Ego.
Shall we kill a god? Is what Ego says at the
So-
end of issue 2. Now issue 3
Mhm.
is what's interesting.
I love the interplay between those two, like how he's like,
This-
"Can I land on you?" and he's like, "Yes, thank you for asking."
Yeah,
Like I love that.
Yeah.
They're really respectful of each other.
he's like, you probably would,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So, by the way, here's how we tie to the Fantastic Four.
Mm.
Shala Ball.
well, Silver Surfer himself ties into this.
That, but it's also, the female.
Oh, the movie. Yes. Good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like,
There's
Duh.
she's in this book. Yeah. Come on, Tyler. I'm right here.
come on, Matt.
But no, it
He draws women like he draws everything very
pop art
derivative.
looking.
Yes, but it's still beautiful.
Yeah.
Like she is a beautiful woman. You can tell, right? You know what I mean? Like, even though it's kind of in a strange style.
So I told for me the part that struck me because Donny Cates has a style, and it shines through later. Where I'm like, well, of course, you can't help yourself, Donny. But I really love how and it's very brief in this book, but I do enjoy how he writes relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I think he always has such an interesting way of doing it, and like this one struck home to me because like it's a honest relationship you have with your partner.
Yeah.
If you're in a heterosexual relationship, where it's if you
Whatever.
adopt. Actually, you know what? Yeah, any relationship because adoption and all that shit. But I'm just saying, there's gay couples that adopt and whatever. But so she says, Norin, what are you doing? Dreaming, just dreaming. You really want to bring a child into this? The world, it's so dark. These are actual conversations that couples have, and this is a conversation. And then he goes, and then the part that made me smile was, and he says, "Then let's make it. And then let's make a light." And that's the theme throughout this whole book. It's really a story about embracing,
Keeping the light
how
going,
you have to
even in the
embrace
darkest
darkness
of moments.
and take that and make it your light. And,
You
and
can walk.
overcome that.
Yeah, you can. It's like the Bible, like the yea, though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death. Christians always talk about having that light of Christ, whatever, what have you.
Oh, by the way, real quick. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, finish. Go
I was
ahead.
sorry.
Read your dumb shalabal thing.
No,
Go ahead.
the one that made me really sad was that moment, Shala looking at me with gentle eyes that could hush a storm. That was the last time I knew peace. And then, he has a nightmare.
Then it's Silver Surfer that shows up as Galactus. Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
It's
so
such a
it's
fucking cool page.
2-page splash of a symbiote
Okay,
black.
how long
Silver
did it take
Surfer.
you to find them? Norin and Shalabal in that picture.
Oh, yeah, they're right here.
Yes. But the first time you were reading it, you go
I never
straight
know-
past it
no,
and
'cause
didn't
it's
even
right here,
You
yeah.
didn't think about the fact that he's on the horizon, so they're in there somewhere, and that
Yeah,
makes
yeah,
the
yeah.
picture almost even cooler, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. And
Because
then-
I skipped it the
And
first
then it's
time.
revealed that it's like the teeth like nulls, and instead of Galactus tearing apart his homeworld,
He's dreaming and he's having a nightmare and he's recovering and Ego's trying to help him.
eyeballs and the fucking.
Yeah.
Throughout the book, they have like panels
Yeah.
where it's just like a sliver of someone's eye looking
Yeah.
at something. It's kind of
But so he's helping him recover and Ego's got a cancer and we'll talk about this issue in the next, but we won't tell you how it ends because you should read it. We really,
Why
yeah,
not?
whatever. Anyway,
I want to talk about when he fixes Ego's core.
yeah. Well, he's got to go and
So-
find the thing and
There's
get
a
it out.
tumor inside his
Right.
core that he has to pick out.
And it
And
turns
to
out
do
to
that,
be.
he turns his board into a fucking corkscrew.
Yeah.
And just
Well, he's in pain too because all of these acids and things are burning his skin, and
Right.
he doesn't have his full power
barely
cosmic.
alive,
Yeah.
and he's flying through. And but like,
It is really
You want to
neat.
talk about fucking perspective,
Yeah.
and you want to talk about what you just said. When I
What did I just say?
with the dream sequence,
Yeah.
this was the part where I was reading it. I'm like, God, again, like that Manhunter,
Golly.
like absolute Manhunter we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, that whole.
This is the shit I'm talking about. This 2-page splash of him going into the core of ego, where it is a direct line, but you don't do that. Well, you do see that because that's how it's written, but then also in the background, that's in the foreground, these circles going down, all the panels are there.
And it's a typical cartoon, like here's all the layers. It's
and
a
your eyes
cross
are
section
drawn
of the
to that
planet.
because
Yeah.
your eyes
and
know
here's
how it
all the
works.
layers and all that. But
But
it's
this is
just so
also-
much more than that.
There's this cool shit also happening in the background that's also playing into it.
But we get to, once he removes it, we get to my favorite part of this entire saga, which
Does
is
that blow your fucking mind?
it's, oh God, it blew my mind. It's Galen. And it's, what is it called? Home 1, I think, is his ship.
It is the Destroyer, the World Killer,
Well, no, his ship is
the
called
Lifebringer 1.
Lifebringer 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is ironic. But
Yeah.
I love how like when it reaches out to him and it shows and then he is there and he's just like this towering figure, but he also is, can I see it?
Yeah. But yeah, so we get
He's
to meet Galen.
also talking about he wants to kill him obviously, and he goes like maybe you shouldn't, and Watcher shows up. I love how he draws Uatu.
Yeah.
But he shows up and he's like, hey man, look, you can, but you're not gonna do what you think.
Yeah, because Silver Surfer's like you're
I'm just gonna push him into a fucking sun.
You're letting these people die,
Mhm.
and then and then it again. I love the justification that Marvel tries to have with these fucking Celestials. It makes me cackle every time. But you have to have Galactus, because if you don't kill Galactus,
Yeah.
then another but a billion worlds are created when he eats one and shits him out. Like fuck you.
But
Stupid.
my favorite part is when he touches on
But it makes
the
sense
thing
in
and
the
he
context of this
is
story, though.
psionically connected, and he sees. He says, I feel him, I touch his mind, and I see it. His last hours in his universe. The black winter that fell on his reality. Trillions of souls screaming and dying and blinking out of existence. And then rising from an ocean of freezing death, he is there. And just,
Yeah,
boosh.
gigantic. full on.
but that's not who he is right now. He's just a dude.
No, he
Which-
doesn't turn into Galactus.
I love being able, well, there's a little fight. They have a fight, which is cool in
They
itself.
keep changing forms, and
Right,
shit. Like he
'cause-
turns into a wolf. And
Yeah,
a
Galactus
dolphin
doesn't
and-
know who he is, but this is what I love. We finally get to see Galactus' spacesuit.
Yeah,
Like his stupid astronaut helmet, which is kind of dumb. It's just big ball with but I love it. I love that we get to see
the human before he turns
yes,
into the Celestial.
yes.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's why I love prequels and shit.
It's so hard for Galactus.
so hard. I am.
love him.
I
love that
I
big
do.
bastard.
I think it's an incredible character, and they've done enough things with him, and that he's an interesting enough character that you can do a lot of different things with.
And again, the thing where I said it's stupid, I know why Donny Cates has to do this, because again, he can't make that kind of a change. He has to say that yes, Silver Surfer could have killed him here, but he doesn't, because this conversation, because he says, you hope to snuff my life out in order to prevent some part of other, but what did you call it? Horror? You would kill light to beat the dark. Are you not also balancing the fates with death? I have felt it, traveler. This new power of mine. But then he. I'm just gonna get to the best part of it. I know too many things. Soon I will outgrow this form, and I grow hungry. I just love that line. Hungry.
I don't know if you read the entire Ghost Rider versus Galactus, like all the words, and the reason why is because he talks about how every universe, how we're like, this is like the 7th universe or whatever that Marvel's in, and like the 6th one, 5th one, right? Like the Defenders. Every universe has had a destroyer. Okay? Galactus is ours, right? the one before it, we saw it in the Defenders miniseries when they went back and met Galactus's mom, who is super hot, by the way.
Galactus' mom has got to go.
Got it going on. But what happens is, while he's consuming these energies, the Destroyer, whoever it is, he is consuming. He's consuming the art. He's consuming the will to live. He's consuming all of these beautiful things that make life what it is, and he's harvesting all of that. And when the singularity happens that ends his universe and begins another one, he becomes the seeds of the next universe. So if we don't have a Destroyer to harvest all of this life and this will to live, then the next universe will be nothing. Because nothing will ever want to crawl from the primary. Do you get what I'm saying? That's the best way that Galactus has been described to me, and I was like, that makes sense.
Again, I just feel like it's just saying, well, when he farts out all these millions of planets.
Whatever. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. But it's
the idea of you like that. It's the Phoenix. It's the idea of even though these lives were lost, they were created a new life somewhere else.
Yeah,
they were planted somewhere else or some shit. But the part my favorite part is the end when they have, because Donny can't help himself, a big sword fight. I don't know. It was cool. It was badass. I don't give a shit.
It was fucking great.
But the last thing he said that really was like awesome. Because alas, I know what must be done, but in doing so, I know it will be my end. For a moment, I falter, but then I hear it, a strong and sure in my mind, a voice I thought gone. If we turn from battle, it says, because there is little hope of victory, where then would valor be? And he just starts fucking 2-page splash. Fights Null.
Yes. Oh, it's so badass. But I do want to read one thing. When he finally accepts what he's going to do with Galactus, he goes, okay. But as I set Galactus on a course that will bring him in time into the orbit of the planet Archaeopia, the first planet to die in my maker's wake, I am once again damned. Like, I think that's kind of cool that he knows that.
And he says because he says in the book, I don't know how to win. I don't know how to win this because, I lose every time.
See, he does just enough.
So he fights off Null.
Yeah.
And he realizes that you have to consume the darkness to create the light. So
Yes.
he gets all the symbiote on him.
I love that he just falls like flaming to the ground and just becomes a flower with all these seeds.
And again, what I love about it is showing what the Silver Surfer is always viewed as the bad guy because he's bringing forth Galactus. But I love how he writes him as when he just says I'm not. This weapon was not designed to kill. This weapon was designed. The weapon I retrieved from Ego was never designed for war. It is not like me or my creator, not a destroyer or a stone-faced witness of horror. It is the light that will burn those shadows away. My legacy, the infant life of the universe, forged into galactic seeds. Fuck yeah.
And then the next page where he's just burning away.
Man, he's burning away. And the part that made me
And while he burns, he becomes the food for the plant.
My favorite part of that, too, is bathed in flame, you will be Zenla, which is his home planet.
Yeah, that is the
he
best
his fucking home planet.
Yes, he starts with Zenla.
Yeah, and so he could be with his wife one more time. He could be with Shala Bal one more time, and it's like
in a way.
In a way, right? Yeah.
But what a great book.
And you're right. This would have been a perfect end to the Silver Surfer.
Right? Okay, that's it. No, but we can't help ourselves because that sold like gangbusters.
Oh yeah, because
so we better make another Silver Surfer miniseries called The Death of Silver Surfer and The Return of Silver Surfer. And by the way, if I have to fucking read another book about the Silver Surfer written by Ron Mars and drawn by Ron Lim, I will punch myself in the face.
Why?
Because that creative team is responsible for all the Infinity bullshit in the 90s. And I am so tired of seeing Ron Lim drawn Silver Surfer. After seeing this, I never want to see Ron Lim drawn Silver Surfer ever again.
And then, the nice little tribute, because I think this came out around the time that...
Did you read his thing? Next page?
Oh, I did not get to read that.
Did you read anything? It's in there somewhere. He talks
it's right
about.
behind it. But yeah, so he shows that what he said was the line the line about valor.
Yeah.
Stumbling on my words. That is a direct quote from Stan Lee's book.
Yep.
And it says
With Mobius.
For Stan.
Go find that if you can.
But that's what I mean. Shit like that was like, man, you know this guy loves this shit. And you know that he cares about this. And you know what? Real quick, before I hand this over, I've never was a Silver Surfer guy. Never really cared for Silver Surfer. Never.
He's been my favorite
I mean,
for a long time.
honestly, like the only thing I had was that shitty Fantastic Four movie. That's the only kind of touchstone I have of
Don't
him.
get me wrong. Like
Lawrence Fishburne does what he can with it. He's not terrible.
And the effects aren't terrible. I mean, they're bad, but they're not. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's doable.
Silver Surfer.
Hey, at least they didn't make him into a fucking cloud.
True.
Hey, he's a Silver Surfer. He's a fucking dusty cloud. Fuck you. Fuck you.
So yeah, until next week. So again, 2
Couple
episodes.
days.
Couple days from now.
Or as kids say, in a couple sleeps.
No one says that, Tyler. Not
I
anymore.
thought your kid said that. The one time I was
Do they
like,
still say on fleek?
hey, you know what I got? I got the yeet. I'm
You got
yeeting.
the yeet?
I'm yeeting
No,
it up.
Grandma, that's yeast.
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.